mean? You know what I mean? But we see right here, even many of the stuff that people see here, they even have a list of essential survival pantry items, you know what I'm saying, stock up for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you have all these pantry items and you're stocking up, what are we stocking up for? You know what I'm saying? The destruction of the human being on the planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? The zombie era, or even the destruction of even the whole city and everywhere, and people is in chaos, and it's the holy apocalypse, and you know what I'm saying, and the whole place is destroyed, and you're gonna stock up on all this food, and when people starve, then guess who they're coming after? And not only that, when you starve and run out of all of this pantry stuff, how long is that going to last? Because some of the things they do, when they do it, they make this shit happen for 40, 50, 60, 70 years and better. Whole generations and people gone and come and go into this madness because we allowing this madness to go on and build up and build up and build up and just go unabated, you know what I'm saying, in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you see a lot of nonsense. We see, remember Bill de Blasio for Congress, you know what I'm saying, from Staten Island, you know what I'm saying, Hoxel, New York Demon Democrat, can't be trusted to draw House lines. Of course she can't be trusted to cross, you know what I'm saying, of course not, you know what I mean? Because she's going to put it in a demon democratical favor because this is what's been going on in New York for all these years. You know what I'm saying, and so forth on, you know what I mean? And we need to start to understand that it cannot just be one-sided in the game. You know what I'm saying? People still have to have an interest in their government, in the ruling of law or lawmakers that you elected and put over your head to be coming down and making policies and executive orders and all kinds of other shit that cause you to go into even protests and so on and so on. And then exacerbated by their cronies inside our government who should not be there at all. You know what I'm saying? And but we see how they weave their way in and did the bullshit they do. Just go for Billy the fucking go idiot Gates, Souls the jackass, and then leave for about to kill Weasel. You know what I'm saying? And he been killing weaseling black people for years too. You know what I'm saying? But you don't trust that clown. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing to do with your government at all when it comes to the black people in the bad areas that you put them in, bad breeding, bad chemicals, lead, paint, all types of shit going on. And when you look, a lot of these kids have asthma and all kinds of stuff because of the environment and the so-called areas in which you build projects and so forth, and then squeeze the black people into that, and then you know restrict them and do anything, and then you put them in a bed chamber. You know what I'm saying? Get the out of here with you're full of garbage, then and you're full of garbage. Now nobody care about Bill de Blasio or anything to do with Kathy Hochul and redistricting the lines, you know what I'm saying? Because people got to stop being stupid. You know what I'm saying? They should not be redistricting a goddamn lines. Once the lines were set, the lines were set. You know what I'm saying? You cannot be arguing the point and saying that the lines weren't set. So you can just come in at any time and put the lines in your favor. This is bullshit. This is why they wanted to bring down the filibuster and so on and many things like that. You know what I'm saying? So we see the bullshit that's going on with her and her demon democratical moves like I told people she was going to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? As we see, you know what I'm saying, in more ways than one. You know what I mean? So we know. You know what I mean? You know, so we know. We see here where Creep Joe Biden, you know what I'm saying, comes out on another one here. You know what I mean? He comes out on another one here where he comes out of another one here where Creep Joe Biden, you know what I'm saying, in more ways than one, tries to contain classified document leak fallout. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Stakes just got higher. You know what I'm saying? This is coming in by Naomi Lim, you know what I'm saying? One day ago, Washington Examiner, you know what I'm saying? In more ways than one, he's coming on. So, you know what I'm saying? The Massachusetts Air National Guardsman has been arrested after the leak of classified information that has already had consequences for the Ukraine war and the United States relationship with critical allies including Egypt, Israel, and South Korea. Mhm. As we see, but while the su- suspected source of the leak, 21-year-old intelligent information technologist officer and gamer Jack, uh, uh, I can't see a name. I think it's Titus or something. I'm not saying your name, but his first name is Jack. He has been I don't know. He has been identified. You know what I'm saying? It's been identified the national security and political implications of his actions for Joe Biden are only now beginning to be understood in more ways than one, as we see. You know what I'm saying? As we see. So we still have to look at the whole situation for what it is. You know what I'm saying? For what it is in more ways than one. You know, so we see where the former deputy assistant secretary of defense for the Middle East, Mike uh, Mulroy, you know what I'm saying, exonerated, whatever his name, I guess Jack, alleged leak for, you know what I'm saying, the threatening national security by, undermining the country's collections of intelligence. Here, who talking about anything? First of all, you know what I'm saying? Creep Joe Biden and them can't talk about any kind of documentical leak. And this is not just stemming from his little documents were found in his house and his car and everywhere else that were hiding from the garbage they did with Obama and even before. But at the same time, you can't talk about anything to do with anybody leaking any intelligence because you have done that shit for years. The demon democratic deep state inside our government bullshit been doing this bull. They got piece of this is bullshit for years. That cost many lives. And got the nerve to sit here battling back and forth saying it's bad enough that our adversary know what we know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you want to bring in a one world order. You know, a bullshit order, and we need to bring that shit down. Talking about a new world order and a one world order and all that bullshit. You need to crush that all together. You know what I'm saying? And don't allow that to happen because when that happens, you're going to find yourself truly a slave. Not a time to be sitting there with Creep Joe Biden in his bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? On his bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But we see here, we're saying, we see another one coming in from the National, we see Institute of Health, you know what I'm saying? Warns against, describing pronouns as chosen, push, slew of 40 different options. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one, we see that little. So let's find out what she is talking about in this matter. In this matter. You see what I'm saying? In this matter. This is coming in by Emma Colton one day ago. You know what I'm saying? Coming off the Fox News. You know what I'm saying? But we see an office within the National Institute, excuse me 1 minute, the National Institute guidelines, the National Institute of Health published a guideline that outlines how professionals should use gender pronouns to affirm gender identity for themselves and colleagues, the intentionally warning that intentionally using the wrong pronouns is, equivalent to harassment. How is that equivalent to harassment? The wrong pronunciation. The wrong pronunciation to what? Is the question from the National Health or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, as long as you calling a man by his name, you know what I'm saying? If he say his name was Tommy but he's a gender, and he now calls himself Millie or Mel, you know, or he calling himself Johnny or Janice. You know what I'm saying? As long as you get addressed by your name and you do your job, you know what I'm saying, in the office as you're supposed to, and not bringing your agenda and disrupting the business and all that. And so I don't see why you should be forcing anything on business professionals to say certain words a certain way. You know what I'm saying? It seems like that's a little bit of intrusion into the people. You know what I'm saying? Like as if the people are calling them, Mr. So, and he want to be called Miss. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so on. That's not harassment because he's a mister. No matter even if he acts like a miss, dressed like a miss, or change his body to a miss, whatever he want to do. But they still come out that that's what he is. You know what I'm saying? So what he needs to do is change his birth paper, change everything else, and so forth. You know what I mean? And on, because your mother already gave you birth, but you seem to want to go and push this down our throats. But it is all good in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? When we see this, you know what I'm saying? You know, we see a lot of foolishness going on. You know, a lot of foolishness going on. We see Hunter Biden, Creepy Biden, you know what I'm saying, involved in Ireland's trip is a sad part of our American history, you know what I'm saying, in more ways than one. Because like I said before, and I'll say it again, why is he in our political process, more than his damn father? It seems like, you know what I'm saying, as if we elected him to do everything and make decisions for us, a crackhead, you know what I'm saying? But Hunter Creepy Biden, you know what I'm saying, involved in the Ireland trip, according to what's going on here. And this one coming in, you know what I'm saying? This one coming in, in more ways than one. This one coming in, you know. We see here where, you know what I'm saying, we see where by Fox News staff 5 hours ago Eastern Standard Time, and the whole Fox News staff, you know what I'm saying, coming on good. You see, 5 hours ago Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? But it's saying in the politics group of it, you know what I'm saying, they see the Hunter Biden, you know what I'm saying, involvement in the Ireland trip is a sad part of our American history. You know what I'm saying? Representative James Comer. You know what I'm saying? Dropping that fire. You know what I'm saying? But James Comer, Republican of Kentucky, joined Fox News and Friends weekend on Saturday morning and, you know what I'm saying, commented on the Creep Joe Biden trip to Ireland with his son. You know what I'm saying? How Hunter Nutter, but Hunter playing a role in the visit. The House Oversight Committee chairman slammed the inclusion of creepy Hunter Biden admit investigation as a sad part of our American history. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one. And Mr. Comer went on to say, in his own words, you know what I'm saying, the business plans for all, you know what I'm saying, particular purpose is the creepy Joe Biden family taking money from our adversaries around the world for doing things that we haven't yet determined. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now, there is no business but with respect. He's saying there is no business but with respect to seeing creepy Hunter Biden on Air Force One. Seeing creepy Hunter Biden lead the president. You know what I'm saying? The United States, lead the president, the United States around, that's around. In other words, lead him around in the United States. You know what I'm saying? And that's a sad part of our American history. You know what I'm saying? Right there. Because just from looking at these bank violations, that I'm going to talk more about next week when we return to Washington, various banks in banks' own words, you know what I'm saying? Various banks in the bank's own words, this is how they would describe creepy Hunter Biden, who is leading our president. Hunter, not president, I'm sorry, United States around on international stage this past week. They suspected him of laundering money, mhm, suspected him of being a unregistered foreign agent. So why is he in our government walking around doing all kinds of shit, making Ukraine deals as well? You know what I'm saying? Again, billions of dollars for it, and now we're stuck in this back and forth nonsense. They suspected him of taking money from countries that we have sanctioned on. They suspected him of doing business with an agency under investigation for human trafficking. Ooh-wee. They they suspected him of uh, owing a significant amount of taxes. Ooh-wee. This is not my world, my words. I'm sorry. This is not my word. This, they are the words of the banks where Creepy Family was doing business, and this is the guy that's leading our person, the United States, around on international stage. That that is a sad part of our American history right there. You know what I'm saying? When we look at it, this story is not going away. It's getting worse every day. Every time we find a new bank account, a new hidden LLC, then that opens up another Pandora's box. And it leads to more bank records and more LLC and a more direct deposit from our adversaries around the world. So this is something that is going to be very hard to explain for Creepy Joe Biden. But he was saying that Trump was Russian collusion. Mhm. Alan Bragg saying he up there paying money to Stormy Daniels, a porn star, and getting him some sugar. You know what I'm saying? And he trying to accuse him of falsifying documents on some garbage like that. But we got bigger shit here going on. He said we have to shine the light on all wrongdoing, like Mr. Allen Braggs like to say, on all wrongdoing that this is families doing. And I hope that next week we're able to give a report to the American people of what all we have found from looking at these bank violations that we've had access to in the Treasury Cabinet for the last 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We see ex-Obama staff blows the whistle on Creepy Joe Biden kickback scheme after Creepy Hunter Biden joins Burisma, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever bullshit. Oh yeah, all kinds of scheme. We see Nancy Pelosi and Mace goes off on Creep Joe Biden after new Hunter Biden revelation. This is a corruption at its core. You know what I'm saying? We see a whole lot of, we see Schiff call new sobering warders, say she's new Stormy Daniels would get him. Yeah, she ain't nothing, Miss Maxine Waters ain't nothing but a bully, you know what I'm saying, dummy in our government. A waste of time, if you ask me. Sorry to say that, but that's the way I feel. Because you didn't avert nothing when it came to the destruction of black people during the cocaine era and all that bullshit going on with Blind Dawn. And you know what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to call the other person in because my man, you know what I'm saying, is in the game or whatever he called himself was doing. And that's the way it goes. But when it comes to you as a politician that was supposed to be looking out for the people, you a full of garbage. I don't know why you are even still there or even getting a paycheck of the taxpayers back. You know what I'm saying? Because you have been talking a lot of stuff, talking about she knew Stormy Daniels would get him. Yeah, because you put the setup in there from the very beginning. Y'all were on top of that with the intelligence secret agent, not secret agent 8899. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We see a whole lot of garbage has been going on. You know what I'm saying? You know, a whole lot of garbage going on in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? We see here where reports find democracy, democracy for black black America is under attack. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you will see a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Well, with all of that. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one. And you know what I'm saying? And then you got my man Al Sharpton out there, you know what I'm saying, again with the groove. So let's see what Sharpton is talking about, you know what I mean? And what's going on with Mr. Sharp over there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But we see Gary Fields 6 hours ago, you know, Eastern Standard Time coming off the AP, the Associated Press. You know what I'm saying? But we see reports find democracy. I don't like the word democracy because we were here in this country before anyone else. You came with violations of slavery, war, killing, and murder, and blood, and pain. You know what I'm saying? And call yourself taking over and building new government here from the people with the Iroquois Nation wrote your constitution. And then you sit here and you discriminate against the very people you met when you came here. So get out of my face. Talking about America, but black America is under attack. Yeah, they've been under attack because y'all black people ain't never help us to get from under the attack anywhere and calling yourself a so-called leader. You know what I'm saying? Like all the people gonna be the leader. Well, the truth of the matter is black people all need to stand up and be the leader now. But under one banner that means the trueness and the fulfillment and the tranquility of black people in its long term from the past to now to the future, because we know the past what took place. And we know what took place in many of our presents and also what might be taking place in the future. But we see here where extreme views adopted by some local, state, and federal political leaders who try to limit what history can be taught in schools and seek to undermine how black officials performs their jobs are amongst the top threats to the democracy, the country for black Americans. And National Urban League, the National Urban League say, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one, we see here where Mark Muriel or whatever, a former New Orleans mayor, when they called that city a murder capital, the former New York mayor who leads the civil rights and urban advocacy organization, cited the most recent explain the most recent explanation. You know what I'm saying? He said the vote this month by the Republican-controlled Tennessee House to oust two black representatives for violating the legislature's rules. You know what I'm saying? The pair had participated in a gun control process protest inside the chamber. Why would you do some shit like that? That got to be deemed democratical work. You know what I'm saying? And when we look at this, you know what I'm saying? In control, you know, gun control inside the chamber after the shooting, that killed 3 students and 3 staff members in Nashville school. Here we go again. Based on what we're seeing and the continuation, and then they're jumping up and down like a jack in the box and a popcorn machine in a pinball fucking game to try to offset and take guns away from American people so you could have the New World Order come in and scoop our asses up. And black people are helping them. That's right, people. They're helping them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We have censored the black history expression and No, they did not. What expression? What Black History expression have you see how they talk behind the truth, but the truth is no more than a lie in their mouth as you hear it in your ears as truth, but you think it's the truth, but it's a lie. You know what I'm saying? We have censorship. You know what I'm saying? This is the way he's saying censorship and Black history suppression. What are you talking about? We're talking about gun control. We're not talking about that. Well, what the hell is he talking about? And now this. Merrill said in, you know what I'm saying, an interview, it's another piece of fruits of the same poisonous tree. The effort to suppress and contain. See how they're using black people to bust through the gun control laws so people disarm themselves and so forth and so on. Now, we're not talking about certain weapons that I hate to say this, you know what I'm saying, with the scheme little garbage that you're doing to try to bring this legislation and this law through. You know what I'm saying? And it's costing lives. So people need to step up. You know what I'm saying? If the government ain't going to do it, then we have to do it for ourselves. We need people with binoculars, people outside the school, people always watching, people vigilant, people, you know, many retirees, you have nothing to do sometimes. You can sit by them schools and keep your eye out and be watching and be right ready to make the calls or whatever you have to do to bring in the right law enforcement. But it seems like it seems to continuously be a sneak attack every single time in more ways than one in this matter. But we see both Tennessee lawmakers, you know what I'm saying, were quickly reinstated by leaders in their district and were back to work in the House after an uproar that spread well beyond the state. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it's full of garbage. Because what people got to understand is while you're busy worrying about racism, bullshitism, and more bullshitism, it doesn't matter how it turned out. One day it's going to turn out bad on all sides because you are dividing the United States into too many parts. So you're going to have a group over here who is extremely dangerous based on their racist belief that they should be the chosen people on planet Earth and everybody else is shit, and they're calling themselves this organization and that organization, such as going back to 1865 when they decided to do that to the black people, and they still calling themselves the Night Riders at the time, and then the KKK and so on and so on. Many other groups sprung out from that. Nazism groups that are, you know, all types of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Where they wear Nazi uniforms and talking this and talking that and so forth on, extremely out their mind in more ways than one, you know what I'm saying? But we don't see the black people stepping up, you know what I'm saying, other than back in the days of the Black Panther Party days, but we don't see too many of them stepping up today because many of them have been bought off into these secular type groups, you know what I'm saying? But we see the Urban League and State of Black America reports released Saturday, you know, draws on data and survey from a number of organizations, including UCLA Law School and the Southern Poverty Law. The Southern Poverty. Is he serious? What do you mean Southern Poverty? You put black people in poverty by coming over here and disrupting the flow. Because there were cities here bigger than England, and black people was the first people here that built those. This goes back before even their so-called debate and back and forth with Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Before he was even mentioned in the Bible, black people was already here. You know what I'm saying? And we can prove that. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one because the findings show that. You know what I'm saying? In many ways, even in South America. So I don't know why they act as if like South America just belongs to them and so forth and so on. It belongs to black people, especially over across there by Brazil, where you always seem to find an alien walking in some crazy shit walking in the street. You know what I'm saying? Because people over there doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one, they got to clean it up. It's a beautiful place, and it needs to be able for black people to enjoy that part of the land as well without that crazy shit that's going on in the land. You know what I'm saying? They need to clean that place up. And you got all these tenement yards of these places built all the way up the mountain and all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? People want to be able to, you know what, it's just a damn shame. But we see the poverty law, you know what I'm saying?